to get up terribly early. You've got time after the game to maybe check a little halftime of the next game or something, and then get some good time at the hotel, in the pool, or whatever you want to do. So a lot of good timing for the start of the Collinsville tournament.
Railers with the basketballs. We start quarter number 3. They move to our left, up by 16, 38-22. Fry down to Bacon. Bacon's picked up his dribble between the circle to Bowers. Bowers hands off to Garrett, top of the key. Bacon's going to drive the lane. Kick back out to Isaiah. Isaiah to Fry. Really overloaded the right side. Now the Railers reset.
Yeah, didn't see a lot of Bacon in the first half. Now he's, of course, he comes out to start the third quarter, but not a lot from the sophomore.
Isles hands off to Bowers. Again, Isaiah takes it strong to the basket. Nice. Up and good.
Yeah, good job by Isaiah. He got baseline on and was able to go to his right to get to the middle of the lane, and he took the contact and put it right over the front of the rim. You like to see that from Isaiah. Use that strong body and get right over the front of the rim. Took some contact, didn't phase him any, and was able to get the nice layup. So good start for the Railers here on offense.
Keene in the right corner for Springfield. Back on top to Mender. Nelson, their leading scorer, the lefty, jump stop. He had 10 in the first half. Working on the side of Garrett. Isles. 3 on the way. That rattles off, no good. And we're going to get a foul. I believe they caught Isaiah with a little bit of a push.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And a technical just got whistled here on this end. Let's go against Blaine Keene. And it looks like, I think he shoved Drew.
He was clapping in his face. Bacon pushed off to get the rebound, and for whatever reason, the kid decides to clap in Drew's face for roughly 10 claps, and with 3 officials looking right at him, that didn't take long. So not a good start, as it's just a regular personal foul on Bacon, but the Railers are going to go down and shoot the technical. I don't know exactly how that happens. Does Springfield get the ball back then? Do we just get free throws and then they get the ball? Or
I believe that is the case.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Garrett,
probably the hottest shooter they're going to send to the line. Garrett Isles at 90% from the free throw line.
I'm thinking he should step back.
Right.
Because he's probably too close from.
Well, he is 90% from the line on the season. And as you said, he made the first one, makes the second one too. 90 for Isles, 89 for a hop from the free throw line. And it is Railer ball.
So because of the technical, Railers will get it at half court. And you know, it hasn't been a really good night for Keene, because not only did he get whistled for the technical, he was also involved in the double foul down on this end with David Biggs.
Right.
This end is not his friend. 6.5 to go. Railers up now by 20.
Well, the Senators really extending the pressure, have decided to get out and almost deny, and look for the Railers not only to get some backdoors, but get to Hoppy, get
Bacon with the left hand. Nice strong move up and in.
Yeah, something you like to see out of Drew. Just get more confidence, and he goes right around his guy and goes in for the easy layup to extend this to a 22-point lead, 44-22. And just look for basically Bowers, Hoppy. If you can get Drew in there, that's an added plus.
Oh, there's an interception by Bacon. What I liked about Bacon's drive, Josh, he had just a little bit of a lean to his right. He kept using his shoulder to create that little bit of space. And speaking of space, the lane opens wide open
much
for
there. That's a pretty quick move right there. Hoppy basically just dribbles up and goes right by his guy. And that was an easy 2. One of the several that Hops had here in the last couple of weeks, going right down the lane.
We're starting to have another one of those third quarters again, Josh. Railers have already gone to an 8-0 run to get things started, and Pettis is going to be whistled for steps.
Yeah, and you can get to a spot here where this could get out of hand, and the Senators pretty much pack it in. You can tell their body language right now is slumped over shoulders and not a lot of excitement to be out there. And this, the Railers at a point where you could make this really ugly pretty quick.
46-22, 5:20 to go in quarter number 3. Fry on the left side, goes back door to Hop. Nice defense though by Nelson as he smelled that one. And then Nelson loses the dribble, kicks it over to Fry. Over to Garrett, spots for 3.
Boom. Why not? Hit another one.
That is 7. Reminder that the school record for most in a game is 9. Keon Day a long three. That's no good. Garrett with the rebound. Why didn't Garrett just come down and shoot it?
Shoot it, Garrett.
Oh, I thought he was going to. Bowers looks to go baseline. Kicks it out to Hop. There's Garrett in the corner for 8.
What a job by Hoppy, too, of feeding him. And Hoppy finds the hot shooter, and Isles is one away from, well, he's in the record book now. Not at number 1 yet, but he's got a long way to go yet.
Timeout taken by Springfield. We will keep it here. 4:34 to go. Railers up 52-22, a 14-0 run to start quarter number 3. Railer basketball this year brought to you by Eaton Corporation, Memorial Sports Care of Abraham Lincoln Memorial Hospital, and Friendship Manor. A listing of 3 sponsors, and for Garrett Isles tonight, everything is coming threes just about. Garrett with 26 here tonight. 8 threes on the night for Garrett, as we talked about. 9 would tie the record that's held by Jason Osborne, Brock Werner, and Jordan Nelson, I believe, did it on 2 occasions.
Right.
And, you know, it's interesting, in a school that's built on the tradition of shooting 3-pointers, to have your name up there in that list, that's pretty tough company.
Jason Osborne back in 1996, that was against Rantoul. Brock Warner also against Rantoul in 02. Jordan Nelson in 10 against Morton, and also in 2010 against Plainfield South, both with 9. I remember that Jason Osborne night. I know that was here in the tournament to start the season. Rantoul used to be in the Thanksgiving tournament, and that was a good start to the season.
Steal by Isaiah, left side of the lane, bounces it back out to Garrett. Garrett kicks it over to Bacon. Garrett wanted it, and he wanted it bad. 4:15 to go. Garrett's picked up his dribble, needs some help, hands off to Hop. Garrett setting up, oh, he lost it. Nelson's gonna go in for the lefty. Finger roll is good. The first points of the quarter for Springfield. They waited till halfway through. 52-34. Ball kicked, and it went right into the student section. Hopefully
somebody had their hands up.
Hopefully it didn't end up like a Jason Day's wife.
Yeah, no kidding. If you didn't have your hands up on that one, you were catching it in the face. But, you know, you don't want the Railers to be so concerted to get the ball out to Isles.
Another steal. Day ahead to Minder with the left-hand layup. So 2 turnovers, 2 easy baskets for the Senators.
Well, I thought on the one Isaiah had a layup he should have went in for, and he was too worried about finding the Isles to get him the ball. And, you know, don't be worried about that. We start to play a little complacent.
Timeout taken by the Railers. It's just a 30-second timeout. We will keep it here. 3:33 to go in the third, 52-26. A reminder that sponsors again for Railer basketball this year include Schneider Chiropractic Center, St. Clair's Manor, and Lincoln Park District. And Josh, I have a feeling that that timeout right there was taken by Coach Alexander for exactly the reason you just talked about.
Yeah, just don't be so concerted on finding Isles. He'll be in the offense. He's hit 8 of them. They know he's going to shoot it, so we can get him the basketball. But don't go away from what's been working. Attack, keep attacking. Don't be too unselfish to where that you can't. You know, you're taking off your game and you start turning the basketball over.
You know, it's funny, Josh, we just saw somebody come up into the stands. Jordan Perry is here tonight, and we saw Jordan have a game just like this. I believe it was against Springfield last year, down in Springfield, where he had 8, including the game winner.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that. And much needed 8 of them.
Much needed, yes.
You know, there's 8 where you don't need them, but there's
Oh, nice underneath. Bacon with the cut from the weak side. Bowers found him. Bacon lays it up and in. Down low, little floater, no good. Pettis with the rebound. And we've got, do we have a foul or do we have held ball? The officials pointing to the other, trying to figure out who had what. And it's going to be a travel. Travel called on Springfield. (54-26). Railers up comfortably here. 3 minutes to go in the third. Garrett's over on the far side here. Nobody sees him. KJ spots a 3 and hits. 57-26, 2:45 to go.
Things look pretty when you can shoot the ball.
Three, that's going to be no good. Rebound comes down to Hawkins. He missed. Hop's going to be whistled for the foul, and Springfield goes to the line. Well, Josh, the Railers had 11 threes last night. They've got 11 threes so far here tonight.
You know, and we're going to a place in just several days now down in Collinsville where for some reason, I don't know if the rims are really soft or they're just tilted a little bit lower. It just seems like the Railers, and I don't want to jinx this by any means, but not only even in the last 2 years, but the last 5 to 6 years, we have really shot the ball well. And when you can go into a tournament like Collinsville, coming off some games here like last night and tonight where you've shot the ball well, percentage-wise, you got some guys that are really feeling it as far as their confidence. The balls, they can see it going in the hole relatively easy. Boy, that could make Collinsville a lot more fun.
57-27 and a turnover as Hop in the backcourt tried to get it down court to Kirby and threw it a little too far, so turnover. Another one of the unforced errors like we saw last night gives it back to the Senators. 2.5 to go in the third. Railers up 30. I remember one of those games at Collinsville a few years ago on the opening night as Hop gets whistled for the blocking foul. It was Tyler Horsham, who I believe had 6 threes in the first, I know it was the first half, it might even have been the first quarter against Urbana. So we've seen some performances down there as well as shooting.
Well, and I just remember that game from that team that finished second state where they were just in a flow that nobody had seen before, especially down there. And we had everybody standing in the gym, not only Railer fans, but I'm just talking about the average spectator of basketball. The ball was never hitting the floor. We were getting backdoor layups. We were getting threes. The scoring was coming from everywhere on the court, and it was just poetry in motion, which of course led to that championship. The Railers back-to-back champions at Collinsville in the last couple of years.
Garrett, 3, got it. That ties the record. Garrett ties the record with his 9th 3. Long 3 from Nelson. That's off, no good. Rebound comes down to Hop. Hop had it tipped away, and a foul is going to be whistled, and that foul is going to go against Nelson after the ball was kicked away. 1:46 to go. The outcome of this game not really in doubt anymore. What everybody's sticking around for is, do we see history?
Do we have the guy that's going to put his name up on the wall, not just in the book as a tie, but is he going to put it up on the wall?
Garrett has tied the record with 9 threes in one game. Kirby back on top to Hop.
You know, if I'm Isles, I'm finding areas.
Is this the record on the way? It is!
10 threes.
1:29 to go in the third. Garrett Isles hits his 10th 3.
You know, and you don't think everybody knew that in the crowd, do you? Because everybody's still standing.
Bowers called for the foul. No one has made more threes in one game for a Lincoln Railer than Garrett Isles has tonight. Garrett with 10.
Yeah, and you said it, Jeff, on a program that has been built on guys that can absolutely shoot the basketball from a number of different areas on the court, whether it's right on the line or guys that could shoot it from 22 feet. It's been a three-point program. And you talk about the Osbornes, the Warners, the Nelsons, John Alberts, Kevin Grayhouse, Eric Grau, just a bunch of guys that could absolutely, Brandon Booth, some of the all-time leading scorers, Greg Alexander, guys that can flat out shoot the basketball. Of course, the Farmer brothers and Brackney, a lot of guys that went on to play college basketball and left their mark here at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium or on the road, and Isles will top every single one of them.
Keon Day makes 2 free throws to make it 63-29. Bounce pass from Bowers over to Hop. Up and good, 65-29. Under a minute to go.
Go through some of those top 30 scorers from three-point land in their career. And that is, of course, the first is Jordan Nelson. He had 346 three-pointers in his career. Greg Alexander second, 281. Matt Schick, 217. Jason Osborne, 200. John Harmson, 185. Ben Brackney, 165. Gavin Block, 159. Corey Farmer at number 8, 142. And I cracked the top 10 still. It's going back fast. It was a little closer to the top 1, and it's going fast.
If Garrett keeps going, he might pass you tonight.
Right, coach has got to take him out then.
3 on the way. That's going to be left short. Hop the rebound, and with 30 seconds to go, Railers are going to hold for 1. So this is the way Hollywood writes the script, is Garrett makes a 3 to end the third quarter, and then Garrett comes out of the game.
They've got number 15 that is can smell the chewing gum that Isles is chewing right now, because he's not letting him get open at all.
Hop over to Kirby, down in the corner. Nolan will try a 3, and he'll connect. 68-29. Springfield having some difficulty, and that's the way the quarter will end. A history-making quarter here at Roy S. Anderson. Railers up 68-29. We'll be back with the fourth in a moment. You're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball. Fourth quarter underway. On the floor for the Railers, Kirby, Hollinger, Hop, Bowers, and the single game all-time three-point shooter for the Railers, Garrett Isles, who has hit 10 threes tonight. Bryson Kirby tries to hit for 3. He misses. Rebound comes down to Springfield. Day's 3 is off, no good. Hop high for the rebound for the Railers. Hands off to Garrett. Garrett comes around top of the key, now to Kirby, to Hollinger. Garrett's going to drive in, find Bowers. Bowers back out to Bryson. Well, Josh, a good quarter in the third as Isaiah shoots from 17, barely hit the front of the rim. Last night it was a 24-4 spurt in the third. Tonight, 30-7.
Yeah, and the points. Look at 68 points already. You know, it has showed where this conference right now can score the basketball. You know, we talked about early on in the pregame where Lanphier had put up 100 last night. Eisenhower with 95. The Railers in the high 60s last night, and now high 68 to start the fourth. So some good offense. If you like offense, you've enjoyed Central State basketball here in the last couple weeks, and just a conference that I hope we stay in.
You can keep saying it, and I will agree with you every time you say it. Over on the right side,
I got to throw that out there.
Day, no good. Rebound, good job by Pettis as he saves it in, almost takes out a couple cheerleaders. Bowers reaches in as it knocks it away, and it'll be a foul on Isaiah. Railer basketball this year brought to you by AAA Window Siding and Doors, Shelter Insurance Agent Corey Leonard, and Grimaldi Law Office. Hollinger back out. David Biggs back in for the Railers. At the line for the Senators, to Sean Kirk, a 6-foot senior, misses the free throw on the front end of the one bonus. Underneath, Biggs is wide open. Kirby found him, and Biggs delivered. (70-29). Three on the way from Nelson, left short. Fight for the rebound. Bowers tips it over to Biggs. Kirby tried to get it to Biggs, went right through his hands, flips over to Garrett. Garrett, no look pass to Biggs, who lays it up and in.
Yeah, too. You know, and what's been nice about it, Jeff, is Garrett has not forced anything. I wouldn't call one shot that he has made a forced shot, or even the ones that he had missed a forced shot at all. They were all within the offense. They were not a pull-up three from 25 feet trying to get the record. It was just in the flow of the offense. A guy that was dialed in all night. We talked about it a little bit earlier that even the games or the shots that he missed were right in and out.
Yeah, the two that spun in and out.
I mean, you could be looking at 12 easily right now.
Three from the side. That's going to be no good, but a foul is going to be whistled. I think that's going to be on. Is that going to be on Kirby? That's going to be on Bryson, his third. Isaiah Bowers will check out. Titus Cannon in for the first time. Titus got in some game action last night. Free throw on the way is up and good. Free throw from Caleb Small, a 5'10" freshman. Second one, rattles good. 72-31. Cannon to Biggs. Over to Isles. Garrett hands back to Cannon. And you're certainly going to know when Garrett heads to the bench, because this crowd will come to their feet in appreciation. Titus is going to be called for steps.
Yeah, and I think Coach will pick the right time to do it. I think maybe he's trying to get Garrett one more shot at least one more shot, maybe to get 11. But then you take him out, at a dead ball, not a timeout to where everybody can watch him walk off.
You know, it's funny, that record has been 9 forever and ever and ever. It would seem fitting that he wouldn't stop at 10. He would just get one more. Nobody had gotten to 10, and then he could possibly get to 11.
Right.
Fight for the ball. Biggs on the floor, still fighting for it. Ball loose, picked up by Springfield. Lefty shot no good, and there's Biggs with another rebound. Out to Bryson Kirby. Bryson will bring it down the left side now to O'Donohue. 5.5 to go. Railers up 72-31. Garrett. Now they got some height on Garrett.
Yeah, and they're not leaving him at all. They should have thought about that starting the third quarter, or starting the second quarter.
Yeah, number 2 can shoot. O'Donohue underneath to Kirby. Kirby kicks back out to Titus. Titus, he's able to save it from going over and back. Good job by Cannon. Underneath to Biggs. Biggs off the glass and good.
Yeah, nice passing too by the Railers.
Timeout taken to get Hollinger in, and Garrett Isles will come out.
Well, the guy has seen a lot of three-point shooters in his day, Jeff, being Coach Alexander. When he say a guy is on, he said it last night. Garrett's been shooting the ball well, not only in games but in practice. He knows when guys are on, and of course, fitting tonight that Garrett would come in and hit 10 of them.
4:51 to go, 3 on the way, left it short. And we've seen a lot of contact here in the fourth quarter. I think the officials know this one's over and they want to get out of here quickly as well. 74-31.
I'm right behind them.
Over to O'Donohue, back to Kirby. Alex at the free throw line, back to Titus, and that's going to be over and back if Titus grabs it, and it is. Turnover on the Railers, 4:29 to go. And a technical has been whistled. I think they got Small, or did they get the bench?
I don't know.
Nope, they got Caleb Small. He got whistled for the technical. I'm not sure if he said something or he was expressing his displeasure. So Bryson Kirby will step to the line and he'll shoot a couple free throws. Is that 95? We weren't too far.
No?
Kirby, first one good.
Closer than I thought we were going to get.
But if this is the new up-tempo that Coach Alexander's talked about, this team may be onto something.
Worked pretty well, hasn't it? And it's enjoyable to watch. Now, obviously, we're not going to probably shoot like this all the time.
Bryson Kirby will check out. Ben Grunder in to the contest. .423 to go. Biggs picked up his dribble, needs some help. And a 5 count. Biggsy couldn't get rid of it. But you know, this has been his quarter. He's got 6 of his 8 points.
Nice quarter. Nice lift off the bench, too, by Biggs. You talked about it earlier where not a guy that normally comes in the second quarter, but has done a good job on the boards, too. I like the aggressiveness of Biggs on the rebounds.
Count the basket. It's up and good from Keon Day. And he'll go to the line. Foul is on Biggs.
He gets his money's worth on the fouls, too.
76-33, 76-34. But this game, Josh, has really belonged to the Railers and their outside shooting. And that, of course, that attack led by Garrett Isles with a record-setting 10 threes here tonight.
Yeah, I got a little scared there late in the first, maybe started the second, where the Rails were just keeping this lead at right around 10 to 12 points, and you were, an area where Springfield could come back with a few threes, and then you get in some momentum. But the Railers quickly disposed of that and did a good job on the defensive end, and then of course the hot shooting all night of Isles. Biggs
back out to O'Donoghue from 18 is good.
Yeah, nice hit. Nice job by OD to
78-34. Long three off the back of the rim, no good from Nelson. Rebound comes down, tracked down by Hollinger. Approaching the 3-minute mark. Cannon bounces it down on the baseline to Biggs. Back out to Grunder, now on top to Cannon. Titus has picked up his dribble, gets it over on the far side to Grunder. Grunder down the lane, looks for help out to Hollinger. 2:50 to go, nice cut underneath. Cannon with the left-hand layup, and he missed it. Titus might have been just a little too free and easy with that one. Three from the right side, up and good. That is Day. 78-37. Timeout taken by Springfield, but it was just to get a substitute in, so we are back in action. And Josh, I saw you going through, looked like your Twitter feed, I think.
Yeah.
It looks like there is footage.
Yeah, our cameraman there, Lloyd, got it uploaded quick off the phone, and was able to put it on Twitter, so you could see the record breaker three-pointer by Isles. I've got it on mine. That's at Komnick 10, and then at WLCN Sports. You can, if you're a Twitter follower, you can get on that and check out the record-breaking three for history here at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium tonight, with Isles knocking down his 10th three of the game.
78-37, Railers up comfortably.
Yeah,
very comfortably. This is the time of the game I would get in. And they would just tell me not to shoot. OD in the lane, strong move, step through off the glass, and good. Railers are at 80, and Biggsy just fouled out. David Biggs just picked up his 5th foul. And looks like it'll be Sam Birnbaum checking in for Biggs. But a nice effort from Biggsy tonight. He had 8.
Yeah, nice job off the bench by Biggsy too. A guy that doesn't get a lot of time, but you've heard from Coach, guys can earn time quickly, and that may be a starting point for Biggs, a guy that's really improved since a year ago. So nice work by Biggsy tonight.
Minder with the first free throw, good for the Senators, makes it 80-38. The Springfield defensive average has been kicked in the teeth this weekend.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I don't know that they're going to be up for any records for defensive average.
You give up 95 last night, stolen away by Minder, lobs it underneath, finger roll is going to roll off, put back try, that won't go down. Birnbaum fighting for the rebound, and it's Tate Sloan that comes out of there. And then a foul is going to be whistled on the Senators. Only the 4th team foul on Springfield. You talk about the defense, Josh. 1:35 to go in this game. The Railer defense has held Springfield to just 4 field goals in the second half.
Well, it was good defense, and I bet a lot of those here have been in the 4th quarter because they didn't get much in the 3rd. Zach
Morris in the contest, and it's going to be thrown away again. Birnbaum tries to track it down. Nice hustle by Sam. Sloan out to Titus. Titus drives in the lane, kicks it out. Grunder corner 3. Rolls over the top of the rim. 1:20 to go, 80-38. Nice move inside, the finger roll, up and good by Day. Day is not going away for Springfield, but he and Nelson have really not had too much help tonight. Sloan bounces over to Grunder. Grunder Dumps it back underneath. Tried to get it to Birnbaum, but it's thrown away. 3 on the way. Back of the rim, no. Morris the rebound.
Well, the Railers sophomores were victorious tonight. They've scored roughly 58-29, and it would have been nice for the...
Titus for 3. Front of the rim, no. Head to Day. Layup, good.
Yeah, that's Day just padding some stats there.
80-42. Grunder on the far side crosses into the front court. 30 seconds to go. Tate back out. Thrown away. As one of the Senators goes, Biggs is even getting contact when he's sitting on the bench.
He'll get called for a foul over there.
In the backcourt, off the glass, no. Put back, no. And Sloan's going to be whistled for the foul, and that'll send the Senators to the line for 2. 20 seconds to go, 80-42 on a history-making night here at Roy S. Anderson. So how much grief do you think Garrett's going to give his dad?
Well, his dad's got a little firepower, because there was no three-point line in his day. So if there would, he would have been shooting for sure. So I don't know that he can ever say anything. Now, he can say a lot to a lot of the guys like me and some of the other guys that had the three-point line, but I don't know that he wants to start talking to Donnie, because he may still get whooped at Horace.
They get it ahead to Grunder. Grunder will pull it back out, down to 15 seconds to go. Skip it across to Morris. Zach for 3.
Yeah.
83-43, 5.5 to go.
40-point win. Could have been worse.
Titus will watch the clock tick down if it ever starts. There it goes. Time ticks down, and the Railers get the victory, 83-43, improving to 7-2 on the season. Springfield drops to 2-8. Again, our final score: Lincoln 83, Springfield 43. We'll be back with the Josh Komnick Ground Incorporated and Schneider Chiropractic Center post-game show in a moment. You're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball.
10 threes, 32 points. Hoppy with another solid stat line. 6 of 8 from the field. He was, and one of those misses was a last-second shot, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 14 points, 7 rebounds, and also 4 assists. So, and also I want to include there Bowers, Isaiah Bowers, on a nice floor game. Didn't have the points Isaiah's been averaging, about 8 points per game, but had 8 assists from Isaiah. So a good job of by all the Railers and all of sharing the basketball, which that's never a problem. Just looks a lot prettier when the shots are going in.
Indeed it does. We're joined now by Coach Neil Alexander. Victorious Railers tonight, Coach, 83-43. We talked about a great offensive weekend for the Railers, 150 points in 2 games. The up-tempo is certainly working, but we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the performance tonight by Garrett Isles. 10 threes to set the Railer record.
Yeah, you know, he took great shots. The guys found him. They hit him in stride, and he was stepping in. And he's had the last 2 weeks, he's really shot the ball exceptionally well. So tonight was I'm really happy for him, and hopefully, you know, and he's being smart. He didn't have many shots. 13 shots, and in scoring whatever he did, I think he got over 30.
32.
So, you know, that's a great game, and you know, it's he was just pretty good.
They weren't forced, Coach. I don't know of one shot that was forced. The 2 that he missed in the first half were in and out. You could be looking at 11 or 12 threes by Isles. But what I liked is he didn't force him. He had the shots come to him. The guys found him, and they weren't trying to just feed him every single time down the court. You could get two or three in a row, and then he may not shoot one for another minute and a half or 2 minutes, and then he may hit him one, and it was kind of that just flow in the offense. Garrett was stepping up. Guys were finding him, as you said. We got late toward the end. I thought we tried to concentrate on it a little too much, maybe, and really tried to find him and passed up some shots. But all in all, Coach, 15 twos we made tonight, and also 15 threes. Can't get much better distribution between 2s and 3s than that.
Well, I'm really happy for the kids. Again, but it's over, and we'll start Monday morning. We'll start preparing for the tournament, and but it was a great game by our guys, and a good way to close out here before Christmas, and it should make the next week and Christmas Day pretty enjoyable.
Coach, you've been here a long time, so you've seen a lot of those threes fall here at Roy S. or even on the road. We talked about the Osbornes and the Albertses and the Nelsons and just a bunch of guys that could shoot, but none of them had a better night on one single night than Isles. Of course, his dad was a pretty good shooter in his day, I think before your time, but didn't have the three-point line, so I don't know if Garrett's got a little – he can't really say much because Donnie still might be able to take him into the
I wouldn't want to play Donnie and Horace. I played a lot of 3-on-3 with Donnie, and him and I kind of fought over the ball to see who was going to shoot it. But that's a long time ago, and I think 10 is a single game record. I think the record was 9, and congratulations to Garrett on a outstanding performance. So but his teammates, they were there and they done a nice job, and they found him and done the things you got to do to set him up.
Coach, one of the things that I think exemplifies Railer basketball is after Garrett had hit the 10th one for the record, I think there was about 45 seconds to go in the third quarter, who was at the bottom of a pile diving after a loose ball on this end? It was Garrett.
Yeah.
He made it. It was over with, and I think you've talked about the margin of error for this team is so fine. But I think it seems like they're starting to get the picture of if you do those little things, what a big difference they're going to make.
Yeah, we had several, and we had some point. We still got a lot of things. We're not perfect right yet, and that's really a good feeling that we still got room to improve. We still turn the ball over too much. We still make silly mistakes. We had an out-of-bounds set down there, or they did, and we weren't even ready for it, and they stepped right in and scored a layup on it. And those are little things that you're just not focused and you're not intense enough to cover things. So, we're going to work on things, and Monday we did and I like to let people know we did add a sophomore schedule to a tournament at Washington High School on Monday. The kids will play 3 games. They'll play at 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 5:30 in a round robin with Pekin, Washington, and Rockford East. So it gives them somebody else to play, and at this point in time, the sophomores don't get a lot of games, so it was an opportunity for us to pick up a few games for them.
And Josh is stepping out graciously to step in here is Garrett Isles. Garrett with a record-setting performance, 10 threes tonight. Garrett, first, congratulations on setting the record. A great game tonight. And Coach Alexander's been talking about your performance tonight. Talk a little bit about just how big the basket seemed to you, because he said for the past week or so you've had some great days of practice shooting. You had a good one last night. 10 tonight, a great weekend.
Yep, thank you. Without my teammates, it would have been impossible. Them getting into the lane and getting shots from the self, that really opened up the outside game for me. And once I got going, I was feeling good, and teammates kept continuing to get me open shots, and I was just knocking them down, and it was a great feeling.
And Garrett, we talked about how the shots that you did miss, I think you only missed 3 shots on the night. The 2 down on this end were in and out. And as Coach talked about, the shots you took tonight were smart. You weren't forcing shots.
Yeah, we know that we can't force any shots. We know that we have to take smart shots. And as a team, we did that tonight. And it was great to see. Not just myself, but everybody else were taking smart shots. We were all knocking them down. And it was just a great overall team performance.
When the 10th one went down, did you feel the crowd reaction here at Roy S. Anderson a little bit more than the others?
Yeah, it was great. I didn't really know that it was the 10th one, but the crowd, that gave me a little hint, and I just had to try to keep my head and not let it get too far to my head and just continue to play the game.
Have you had a chance to talk to your dad yet?
No, I have not.
You want to play him in horse tomorrow, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So Garrett, I don't think one-on-ones even in the
no,
the offering, but he might play you in horse.
Yeah, probably.
Well, Garrett, thanks for coming up and joining us here. Congratulations again on the record. And you hit 5 last night.
Yep.
You hit 10 tonight, so you increased by 5. So we expect 15 the first game at Collinsville. We'll take that,
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. Thanks, Garrett.
See what happens. Thank you.
Thanks. Coach, you talk about the way this Railer team is constructed, and you talk about how this Railer program is built. Here's someone who had one of the best nights any Railer has ever had shooting, especially from threes. And the first point goes to my teammates got me the ball. That talks about team basketball. And I think, we've done enough games watching you. If you've got someone who's not going to play team basketball, we're not going to see him out on the court. You demand that first and foremost.
Well, one of our philosophies is 5 guys playing together is better than a bunch of individuals. And, and that's basically when we take the court, our athletic talent or ability is not even close to being the teams that we play, but what you do is you play together. I think our kids are great basketball players, and they know how to play, and I think tonight this pretty much showed. And you just try to play, you work together, you find the guy that's got the hot hand, and but we've got a lot of guys that can shoot it. We've got about 3 of them that they have the green light, and Garrett's at the top of the list.
And even better now. Coach, a lot of points been scored in Central State 8 over last night. Lanphier puts up 100. Eisenhower with 95, and I think somebody again put up 85 tonight. I was reading through during the game. We put up a big number again. You head into a gym where the Railers have performed really well, especially offensively. Shooting the basketball for some reason at Collinsville has really worked well for the Railers, and not only just the last couple years, but in the last 5 or 10 years. I don't know if the rims tilted a little bit more, they're older rims, they're soft, whatever it may be, the light is good. But we've hit a stride here where we're shooting the basketball well, going into a tournament that in a place where we have shot well bodes well for the Railers.
Well, they do, and we don't want to emphasize that, and they go down there and just start checking it up. But it all has to do with mental preparation on being ready to play. You're focused. I know you've been around the game long enough to know if you just walk in the gym, this and that, and you're not focusing on the game or you're joking around, it affects your shooting, number one. And we've got to be focused on what we're doing, and we don't talk about shooting, we talk about mental focus, and that leads to good shooting, and we'll continue to do that. It seems to work.
And Coach, up until really late in the fourth quarter, the defense was certainly doing the job in the second half. They had held Springfield to, at one point, just 4 field goals. And again, it was just like last night, that third quarter push. Last night it was a 24-4. Tonight it was a 30-7 advantage in the third quarter. So those halftime speeches, they're getting really good.
Yeah, did you tape any of these?
No.
Video record?
They make a little money on them. Retirement money.
There you go. Well, we'll be ready, Coach, for Zumwalt. I'm sure you got a couple days of practice leading up, and then we'll, I guess, be back down at Collinsville here in about a week or so. A week and a couple days.
9 days.
Yep.
Again, we're already getting close to 2016, and those numbers start to sink in a little bit, because 2017 is the last year of teaching, so it means you're really getting old, antique, been around a while. So, we want to, the boys, the coaching staff, and our basketball program wants to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And this definitely, we talked about before the game, this makes the ham, turkey, whatever you're having for Christmas Day go down a little bit easier. So hopefully everybody will come down, and hopefully we can not disappoint the people in Collinsville about the seed that they gave us. And if we can go down and shoot like that, then I think a lot of good things could happen.
All right, Coach, well, congratulations on the win here tonight. A successful weekend, 2 conference wins here at home for the Railers. Enjoy the holidays. Have a Merry Christmas, you, your family, and all the Railers. And as Josh and you talked about, we'll see you on Monday the 28th at Collinsville, a 2:30 start against Fort Zumwalt North.
Well, hopefully everybody will be there. And once again, Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy Holidays, and make them safe.
All right, thanks, Coach. We will take a timeout and wrap things up in a moment. You're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball.
Lincoln Railer Basketball on WLCN 96.3 FM and streaming live on WLCNonline.com is brought to you by Shelter Insurance Agent Corey Leonard, AAA Windows Siding and Doors, The Carpet House, Town and Country Bank, Lincoln IGA, Fifth Street Food Mart, Jason Schmidt at Channel Seeds. Friendship Manor. Rick Ham, State Farm Insurance. Lincoln Heating and Cooling. Lincoln Printers. Memorial Sports Care at Abraham Lincoln Memorial Hospital. Lincoln College. Realtor Nancy Cunningham at Brady Realtors. Stacy Family Pharmacy. Community Action Partnership of Central Illinois. Drow Incorporated. Schneider Chiropractic. Lincoln Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Christine Short. St. Clara's Manor. Eaton Corporation. Jim Examus Ford Lincoln. Bright Ideas Screen Printing and Embroidery. Headline Salon, LLC. And by Family Custom Cleaners, Laundry, Tanning, and U-Haul.